horrible video image, probably better than the one where you can actually see my face though, and the words are probably more important. I'm going to talk about motorcycles, hot dogging it, or being impatient around very large cars. And the feeling is irritation. The thought going in my head is, what kind of a person does this person think I am? Some kind of wussy that they can go around? And that's kind of what goes through my mind. But then realizing that what's going through my mind doesn't really describe things, and maybe just more importantly, there is no way I want to live with some motorcycle dude. Actually, he just used his slow down hand. You know that thing in the old days, back in the 70s, where you put your hand here if you're gonna turn, like you can't, it's reversed, but you know what I mean. You put your hand up if it's gonna be a right turn, you put your hand out if it's going to be a left turn, you put your hand down if you're going to slow down or stop. That person just did it in front of me. I know he was actually not hot dogging, but sometimes they do hot dog. Where are you guys? There you are. All right. The point is the point I already made, is there's nothing, I've already sort of made a video about this. Now that guy rolled between cars to get to me, but we're all stopped. I'm kind of okay with that. Deep inside, my childish self wants to be annoyed and say, no, you get back in the back of the line. But that's because schools taught us that kind of BS. You know what I mean? There ain't no line. So me trying to like practice what I preach when I'm telling people that we have a lot of signals inside to do the wrong thing, a lot of signals inside that aren't really a good estimate of what is going on. The guy's actually hot dogging, he's doing the swing swung, and they both are and all that stuff. But again, it becomes more and more irrelevant to me what other people are doing, and more relevant to me what I should be doing. Now, let's say we're talking about politics or something. I sometimes feel like my duty with people who are dealing with politics the way I don't want them to, is to talk to them and hope that some change will happen, even if that change is in me, which is kind of icky to think about, because that has changed a lot. I used to be like anti-abortion man, up to not to the point of bombing somebody or killing somebody, you know. But here's the thing: driving is if you've done some simpler work on your emotions, driving is a great way to see how many feelings come up for you that turn out to not be your guide for what to do. And also ideas coming into your head about what kind of person is in front of you. The only assessment is how safe or dangerous is the situation, and what do I need to do to keep safety. That's probably, I don't probably need to make a further video about this. It's just that there is already a safety rule that's been kind of broken when you ride a motorcycle, in my opinion. And you can take responsibility for that. And therefore, it's not on my head what happens if you don't take responsibility for that. Or if I wind up entangled in some kind of a injurious way, even though I was doing the driving appropriately, you were doing the driving appropriately, or you were hot dogging. Both of our jobs is always to be very safe, but no matter how safe people are, accidents with motor vehicles will happen. And an injured motorcyclist can be a very, it seems like to me, being injured is kind of worse than death, depending on like the level of injury. You know what I mean? Not only that, you can think of an injury as a challenge to give you more grit and a better life attitude based on the idea that I can continue on in life without some of the abilities that I used to have, right? So yes, it can be strength building, but also it can be very, very challenging to be able to do that, you know, especially without the help of a mental health counselor. But even with the help of a mental health counselor or other psychotherapists to get there. But just more importantly, as just a driver, I've probably said this in another video, if you die, you won't have to deal with that. If you die in some sort of motor vehicle crash on a two-wheeled vehicle, or like a three-wheeler with no freaking casing around you like I've got in my freaking car, this mofo can stand an impact and protect me from the impact. It's designed to do that. The people that wind up seeing you get injured and dying are going to have trauma too. And the person that was of their own fault, and most definitely not their fault, are going to be the ones to suffer, not you. So I recommend, as a person, don't ride two-wheelers on the road. I'm not a fan of people having the automatic, the scooters on the road, and all that stuff. I'd recommend that you lobby for scooter lanes. In some enlightened cities, they have the cars driving on the lower level. Then you've got the bicycles one level up, like a sidewalk specifically for bicycles. And then further out away from the road, they've got the sidewalk for the pedestrians. So until that starts happening in your town, you know, I wish they had a freaking motorcycle lane like that, you know. But until then, don't ride a motorcycle. What's wrong with that? That's my advice as a person who doesn't want to have to live with seeing someone turned into mangled meat and bone.